First up, the criminal underworld of the mafia has always been dominated by men. You need only look at the likes of The Godfather, Goodfellas, and The Sopranos. Soon, the true story of one woman who worked for the mob will be told on the big screen. From Slash Film, Mob Girl is a new film in the works from the young Pope director Paolo Sorrentino that will adapt the life story of Arlene Brickman, a woman who became a mob girlfriend but then ended up getting in on the criminal action herself. And Jennifer Lawrence has been slated to star in the movie and produce it. Next up, in 2015, 70-year-old director George Miller delivered one of the greatest action films of all time with Mad Max Fury Road. Since that film came out, audiences have been wondering if Miller would ever return to that post-apocalyptic world for a sequel. From Cinema Blend, it turns out that the director has 2 more Mad Max sequels in his head. As he explained, there are 2 stories, both involving Mad Max and also a Furiosa story. We're still solving, we've got to play out the Warner's thing. It seems to be pretty clear that it's going to happen. That Warner's thing Miller is referring to is the lawsuit his production company, Kennedy Miller Mitchell, filed against Warner Brothers. It all stems from a $7 million bonus George Miller and the production company were to be owed should the film's final costs come under a certain amount. Next up, Catherine Hardwicke of the Twilight Saga is set to direct Heathen, a female-led Viking fantasy feature adapted from the story by Vault Comics. From ComingSoon.net, Heathen follows Adis, a young Viking warrior who comes out as queer in an age and culture of merciless patriarchy. Her ostracism leads her on a quest to right those cultural wrongs with Odin, the leader of the Viking gods. The first volume of the trade paperback of Heathen, which contains the first 4 issues, has gone to multiple printings. Young Adult Library Service Association selected the book for its 2018 Great Graphic Novels for Teens list. A new story arc began in June from the indie publisher. Next up, Hulu is developing a TV series adaptation of Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. From JoeBlow.com, the project is a product of ABC Signature, the cable streaming arm of ABC Studios. Often hailed by many as one of the single greatest contributions to sci-fi literature, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy began as a comedy radio series and rose to even greater heights as a beloved series of novels. The literary series has been translated into over 30 languages, making The Misadventures of Arthur Dent a cultural touchstone across the globe. And finally, Designated Survivor will not be returning for new seasons at Netflix. From Variety, Designated Survivor, which starred Kiefer Sutherland as a low-level cabinet secretary who becomes president of the United States, started out as an ABC drama series but was canceled by the broadcaster after 2 seasons. It was announced last September that Netflix had revived the show for a 3rd. Netflix will continue to carry all 3 seasons. And that will do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed.